Hey guys, and welcome back to Skeesh. We're going to be going over episode 4 of Gundam Gquuuuuux. I am up here in kind of our studio today because I was having audio issues. If you noticed in the last two videos, I don't exactly know what is causing them. So I wanted to come up here and get some quality audio, quality video out. So that's why we're up here today. And you can get a neat little behind the scenes at kind of how we do things sometimes, which I always find interesting. If you do, there you go. If you don't, whatever. So what I wanted to do with episode 4 today is start with a recap of where we are and kind of how we got there. We met Char, and he found the white Gundam, which was later painted to the red Gundam. On Char's final battle in the red Gundam, a supernova-like event happened, and the red Gundam was missing, as well as Char. We are back in the present currently, and red Gundam shows up, and some people are a little bit shocked to see the red Gundam again. We are introduced to our main character, Amate Yuzuriha, who we also know as Machu. She runs into someone named Nyan, who is transporting this illegal program to put into the Gundams, and Nyan takes Machu to this, what appears to be underground mobile suit fighting area. While they are there, the red Gundam and Gundam Gquuuuuux appear and they are fighting. And towards the battle's end, Machu jumps into Gundam Gquuuuuux, and to her surprise and everyone else's surprise, she can pilot the Gundam. Machu and Nyan meet someone named Shuji, who they then later discover has the red Gundam. So Machu and Shuji enter these underground battles together to earn some money, and Shuji is fighting as Machu's Mav, which is basically just, you could say her wingman or sidekick. So that's kind of where we're at. Right now, Gundam, we are a little bit up to speed, very TLDR'd for you. This episode is interesting. I've seen it already, but there are some points that I want to bring up. We get a lot of information in this episode, and we meet a character who I find pretty interesting. And something happens to Machu that I'm very curious to see the repercussions of. So let's go into episode 4 of Gundam Gquuuuuux. Okay, this scene's a little interesting. In the last episode, we saw what I think was the Zeon ship show up because they were tracking Gundam Gquuuuuux. Their pilot was in prison, wherever they're at right now, and we can see that there is some political unrest going on. They do not want the Zeon ship there, probably for fears of another war, I would assume. A common thing that I've noticed in Witch from Mercury, and also that's kind of happening in this, is that everyone really dreams about Earth. What I think here is they are somewhere in space on what I kind of equate to like the Halo ring. It has environments on it, and it's just where they live out in space. So everyone dreams of Earth as being this amazing place that they want to go to, and in this scene, Shuji is informed by the red Gundam that it wants to go to Earth, which I find really, really interesting. This shows up again with the Gundam kind of speaking. So I am curious how that's happening, or what is going on there exactly. Machu brings up a good point here, I think. The last time we saw the red Gundam, Char was piloting it out in space, and it looked like it exploded. It looked like no one survived that. No one's seen Char or the red Gundam for a long time, and then magically the red Gundam appears kind of out of nowhere, and we discover that Shuji is piloting the red Gundam. So how did Shuji get the red Gundam? I can't even think of ways that he might have gotten it. He might have known Char in some way, maybe. I really don't know how Shuji could have gotten the red Gundam. I'm very, very curious to find out how he got his hands on this. In this scene, we are introduced to Shiko, and Shiko has some wild-looking eyes. She's portraying herself right now as very docile, mild-tempered, and just kind of a peach, like everyone can get along with. She has a family that she really cares about, but she has a grudge. Here we can see that Shiko's demeanor has completely changed. The mild-tempered Peach that we saw in their first interaction is gone. We see her kind of enter this super focus of fighting with mobile suits. She has a mission, she has a drive, and she wants to get revenge on the Red Gundam for killing her Mav. And she knows that Machu is fighting alongside the Red Gundam. We're seeing that instance of the Gundam kind of speaking again. Shuji just informed Machu that the Gundam said, focus on the battle. I'm so curious how this is happening. Like, is the Gundam speaking to certain people? Like, does Shuji have this really good connection with the Gundam that other people just don't have? Is it some supernatural event? I don't know, but I very much want to know. In this fight, Machu's kind of getting her ass handed to her. It seems like she has a lot to improve on in the fighting, and we don't see that sparkle that we saw previously when she first entered the Gundam. So I'm led to assume that that sparkle or that connection that she has with the Gundam is not present right now, and that gives her some sort of ability to better pilot the Gundam, or low-key for the Gundam to take control and kind of do its own thing. What I kind of got out of this scene was that Shiko was present for the supernova-like event that happened while Char was piloting the Red Gundam, and that is what killed her Mav and why she's seeking revenge on the Red Gundam. There's this angelic voice that everyone is hearing, not just the Gundam pilots. Shuji is probably hearing it, Machu's hearing it, Shiko is hearing it, and the people on the bridge of this ship are also hearing it. I really do think there is something like supernatural with the Gundams, because, I mean, what else could this be? Shiko has lost the fight against the Red Gundam, and one interesting thing that I want to point out is these fights are not meant to kill people. Nobody's really supposed to die. They're just supposed to be some beatdowns type deals. But Shiko was trying to kill the Red Gundam because she wanted revenge for killing her Mav. And Shuji, who, if you notice, is also very mild-tempered. He seems very low-key in every aspect. But here, he is literally killing Shiko. And it seems like when you pilot the Gundam, it can change the person. This scene was interesting. It kind of seemed like Machu, Shiko, and Shuji were all interconnected in this one sphere that no one else is part of right now because they are piloting Gundams. So it seems like Shiko has kind of found peace after being killed by the Red Gundam, which is interesting. You know, she doesn't have to hold this grudge anymore that she's probably held for a very long time, and she can let go of that resentment towards the Red Gundam. Or that's kind of what I took out of the scene. This final scene, Machu witnesses Shiko get killed. And I'm very curious to see how she will deal with that, because, you know, watching Witch from Mercury, there's one scene in particular that if you've seen that show, you might know what I'm going to bring up. Soletta Mercury was very against killing. She didn't like fighting. But in one scene, she brings her hand down and smashes the shit out of this person who is threatening Miorine. And she turns him into a fucking strawberry smoothie. I mean, this guy got demolished. And Soletta's reaction to that was not, oh my god, I just killed someone. It was, Miorine, look, I saved you. So I'm curious to see how Machu deals with the death of Shiko like this. Is it going to turn her drastically one way or drastically another way? Or will it not affect her at all? Alright guys, that sums up episode 4 of Gundam Gquuuuuux. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have anything to add, please throw it in the comments below. I love reading them and seeing what everyone else thinks. But if you don't, I will catch you in episode 5 next week.